Words. Wow. Words cannot even describe the shock and the heartbreak us wrestling fans are feeling tonight at this very sudden, knee-jerk, and just out of the blue news that just sums up what 2020 has been for us. 2020 has just been a year that we all just couldn't prepare for. It's a year that really reminds us again to value those times that we get with our loved ones. Value those times that we're able to do those small things that we enjoy. Because you never know when things can be taken away. The shock, the heartbreak, and even during this time during the Christmas season, when we're all trying our best just to find that positivity, those little things you can still grasp on right now. During a time where we can't see our families, we can't, go to our favorite, movie theater or do our favorite activity of whatever heck it is. It's tough, especially when you get news like this. About an hour ago, I would say, I was preparing to do my SmackDown review, which I'm still going to do tonight. Probably in about a half hour I will do after this video is uploaded. I was getting prepared to my SmackDown review, and I get a text, and I had a double take at it. And I go onto Twitter. I'm like, this has got to be a hoax. No. And it's true. John Huber, formerly known as, of course, Brodie Lee in AEW, and on the other independents he was for WWE, and Luke Harper of the Wyatt family, has sadly passed away this evening at the age of 41. The latest reports that I am seeing based off of his wife's Instagram posts, that apparently it was from a non-virus, I say that because I'm being particular here, a non-virus related lung issue, which completely came out of left field for me, and I'm sure a bunch of other people, because, and even when right when the news first came out, and it wasn't like, surfing around the internet, because I literally saw when AEW posted it probably like 4 minutes after AEW had posted the first, tweet about Huber's death. Because it wasn't really even surfing Google yet when I had seen it. But, I'm already lost for words again. But I was just in shock. Like, I don't believe this. Like, I still can't believe that this happened. But that it's just taken so soon. And especially, just something else, again, we just could not prepare for. Because, again, I'm sorry, I remember what I was saying before. I remember what I was saying was that I had read some reports that apparently recently, when people asked about what's going on with Brodie Lee, when was he coming back, because I had heard he had been out. I don't think he was on TV since that dog collar match he had when he dropped the title back to Cody Rhodes. After Cody made his return after being gone for like 5-6 weeks, and Cody won back the TNT Championship off of Brodie Lee, and I'd read some reports that apparently it was kind of starting to become a little more of a secret as to why Brodie Lee was gone, which I probably would not have thought anything like this would be happening, but it gives me chills now reading that. But just about the man in general, like John Huber, Brodie Lee, Luke Harper, a man that we didn't really feel we got to know too well in WWE. He, of course, made his debut in WWE as a member of the Wyatt family, Luke Harper. Had a series of good matches with several guys, showing that he was definitely a very underrated talent. Him and Eric Rowan were in a feud with the Usos in 2014, I think it was. Had a series of really good matches. They briefly split them up, and they had Harper win the Intercontinental Championship right around Survivor Series in 2014. Had a very underrated ladder match with Dolph Ziggler at TLC. And then they put the Wyatt family back together again. And then they randomly split them up again. And then the most relevant run I'd say Luke Harper ever had in WWE was in 2017 when he was this close to being in a world title match at WrestleMania. Because it was in the midst of the Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt feud. And obviously plans did change a little bit because of John Cena proposing to Nikki Bella. But because of that, they kind of had Luke Harper kind of become like a more relevant piece in that storyline than it originally was supposed to be. But again, Luke Harper literally came this close to 2017 to getting that one shot he had always deserved. That, again, WWE just didn't capitalize and give him the opportunities that he deserved, because he was very underrated. And then they threw together the Bludgeon Brothers. They were fun for a while, but then they kind of died off until, I think it was Rowan suffered an injury. And then he just was never on TV. And the last time he really was on TV, he had a match at Hell in a Cell, a tornado tag match against Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. And that was he was already out the door at that point. That was just Daniel Bryan calling him back. According to the Talk is Jericho podcast he had a few months ago, shortly after he made his AEW debut. And keep this in mind also, this is a man, again, who didn't get the respect he got in WWE, and when the stuff he got to do in AEW was not in front of a live audience. Well, I take that back. He some stuff towards the end, because when they started allowing some fans come in, or was that around time? I can't remember if right before he left with his ankle injury, or if it was something more. If they were starting to letting 10 to 15% of fans come in at the Daily's place, I can't remember for sure. But yeah. Anyways, getting back to he basically had both feet out the door when Bryan asked him to work that match with him, Rowan, and Roman at Hell in a Cell. And then he was released a little over a year ago. Or I think it was December 8th last year was when he got released from WWE. And he went to AEW. And again, like I said, he was just getting the opportunities. And again, he never asked to be champion. All he did was he wanted to do something relevant, and he just wanted to wrestle. And he did the best he could with what he got with the Dark Order. Being the Exalted One, being, TNT champion. He even was in a feud with Jon Moxley for the world title and had an excellent match with Moxley. They did have great matches in WWE when they feuded in 2015 with that Chicago street fight, and maybe had another one or two other type street fight matches. He had an excellent match. And in his matches with Cody Rhodes, he won the TNT Championship in a squash match. And then he had that excellent dog collar match, which I believe was his last ever match. It's just so heartbreaking that this is how it ended. Seeing a man, literally finally get his chance to really get the opportunity, and then just like that, his time came for him to be called up. Not to any other roster, but to the one place that everybody dreams of. It's just heartbreaking even talking about it now. I'm still in shock. I'm still in absolute shock. Again, it's been a sad year, guys. But again, for someone like me who witnessed, who had two big deaths, well, a big death in the family and lost a pet back in April, you really, and even during this pandemic when you're very limited on what you can do, it just really shows that, life really is short. You can't take it for granted. You never know when something you just love, like a person or just anything in general that you love, can be taken away from you like that. It's just heartbreaking, and I'm very lost for words. And I have nothing to say but just rest in peace to Brodie Lee. John Huber. He has his wife Amanda, his sons Nolan and Brodie also, I believe. He has now just have survived him. I can't get them tongue twisted now. But yeah, I'm in shock, as I'm sure most of you guys are. And all I can do right now is offer my thoughts and prayers now to the friends and the family of John Huber. Again, John Huber, also formerly known as Brodie Lee and Luke Harper, has passed away today, December 26th, 2020, at the age of 41. Rest in peace, Brodie Lee.